The first thing that I found that works for me is just to call out the behavior of the narcissist. This is the first in 5 things that we can use, tools we can use to break free from narcissists and their abuse and their controlling behavior. People frequently advise us that what we need to do is go gray rock. We need to just get away from narcissists, and I agree with them. But saying get away from these people is easier said than done. So here are some ideas. And the first thing is call out their behavior. Now, I'm not saying to copy their behavior. I'm not saying to do what they do, give it back to them. This is not an eye for eye, tooth for tooth type thing, but it's where you just mention, just say it in their face. Hey, why are you acting controlling? Something specific. Why did you call this guy why did you call him arrogant? Or why are you bad mouthing this person? Or why do you feel like you are the only one in control? I mean, just call out their behavior. And why do you do that? Well, what I found is it makes them very self-conscious. And when you are self-conscious about something, a lot of times you just don't want to do it, particularly if it puts you in a negative light. Now, if you happen to call out the behavior of a narcissist in the presence of other individuals, it seems to be all that more effective. Suddenly, the narcissist is losing his or her control over you and over the situation. Call them out. That's what I found that works for me. Now, what works for me may not work for you, so I don't give people advice. I just tell you, these are the ideas that I've used in my life, which is, well into my 70s, so I've learned a thing or two sharing with you some of my experiences. All right, number 2 is just disengage. And this is difficult. Everybody has a hard time doing this. So, for example, a narcissist will say something expecting you, intimidating you purposely, triggering you, so you will offer some kind of a comeback. And why do they do that? Well, because they're controlling you. They made you say something by design. They intentionally said something to you, maybe insulting or maybe a put down or maybe belittling you, knowing that you're going to come back and say something. Just don't say anything. Or if you do say something, you would say something like, well, that's kind of immature of you, don't you think? Why don't you grow up? Or, but don't, this tit for tat thing where you're always returning, trying to insult them. I guess that's the best way to say it. What I found is when you do that, the narcissist is pleased because he now is controlling you. He pushed your button and you activated. So don't activate, disengage. Unplug yourself. Number 3 is just don't go back. So if you have disengaged with a narcissist, what they will do is they will exploit your vulnerability. They will wait till a time where you need support, where they sense that you are vulnerable. And then they may go back and try love bombing again so they can pull in that bond between you and the person so they can abuse you. It's like pulling the rein on a horse. They want to control you, but you got to learn that, hey, I know who this guy is, so I'm just going to disengage. Ask yourself this question. I heard this from someone else, but I thought it was a good idea. Ask yourself this question before you go back. What is going to change? If I go back and work with a narcissist again or renew the relationship or the friendship, what's going to change? And if you can't think of a thing, and you probably can't, why would you go back? They don't change. Narcissists run on the same treadmill, the same cycle. They just don't get off track. They just run in a circle constantly. Nothing's going to change. At least that's been my experience. All right, number 4. Sometimes it works to agree with them. So they say something about you that is insulting. That they may say, you're lazy, or you're not doing the work good enough, or whatever. Now you can agree with them. And that kind of takes away their thunder if you do it sarcastically. This is not something I do, but I've seen it done. I just prefer not to say anything at all. And sometimes that will come out, but by and large, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to be sarcastic with them, but when you agree with them, you're taking away their thunder. Now, if you agree with them without sarcasm, you are, in a sense, endorsing what they are saying. You're being supportive of what they're saying. You are an enabler. Last thing you want to do is be an enabler of the person who is hurting you. You don't want to give them the ammunition, Number 5 is question yourself. By that, I simply mean ask yourself all these questions, like how did I get in this situation in the first place? How am I responding to this individual? Why am I wheezing? Can you hear me wheezing? I have no idea why I'm doing that. Must be the time of year, but don't ask them that. But ask yourself the question, why am I playing this person's game? And how could I? And it is a game. You may not like it, but they've drawn you into it. You may not want to play it, but there you are. It's kind of like somebody punches you in the head. You don't want to fight, but there you are. You can defend yourself, or you can run away or do something. But you're in it whether you like it or not. So they draw you in. So question yourself, how do I want to play this game? Again, yeah, it's a game. And let's tie these 5 things together. And what we're saying collectively is this: just don't sweat it. Now, you hear people say, don't let them see you sweat. I've got a better idea. Just don't sweat. They can't see you sweat if you don't sweat. You got to keep in mind that narcissists, by and large, are not the brightest people on the planet. Now, some of them are highly intelligent, but they don't use that intelligence. So they may as well be dumber than a box of rocks, because that's the way they behave. They don't think. They're so arrogant, they don't think they have to think. So they don't. That makes them maybe not literally stupid, but effectively stupid. So why are you sweating? Why are you worried about this guy? They're not the brightest people in the world. They're not all that harmful once you learn how to use them. Once you understand you are being manipulated and you understand how their manipulation works, they're very easy. I have found in most circumstances very easy to control, particularly when they get into the smear campaign. Some people find that devastating, and I found it devastating, but, I applied number 5, question myself. What can I do about this? How can I stop it without being like the narcissist? And what I found works for me is just find out what the truth is about the narcissist. Most of these people, not all of them, but a lot of them have a history. I mean, you can dox these people and find out sometimes some things about them that downright criminal. I mean, a lot of them, they've been to court, they've been to jail, not all of them, but some of them, but they've had bad experiences in the past, maybe at the workplace, maybe with a previous love interest. So why not find out about those things and let the narcissist know that you know? And sometimes once the narcissists know that you know about his or her past, they will leave you alone because they don't want other people accessing you and finding out what you know. There's a red dot in the lower right-hand corner. Click on that and you can join our YouTube family by subscribing to our channel. In the lower left-hand corner, there should be a rectangle. If you click on the rectangle, then you access our past videos, that is to say our library of videos, and these, even though I made some of them years ago, the information fresh as if I made them today. So why not take access those as well? And we'll see you all next time.